This vehicle is 1/12 scale, fits perfectly with your action figures, and is absolutely freaking beautiful. Let's open it up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. So check this thing out. Have you ever seen a more beautiful vehicle in your life? Well, a more beautiful vehicle that's this small, I should say. I'm sure you might have seen others, but not one like this. Not one that fits with an action figure. This thing's absolutely freaking beautiful. Just look at this thing. This is the Bandito, which is made by Odd Frog Entertainment, and it's 1/12 scale. Specifically made for action figures, 6-inch, 6.5-inch, that kind of thing. I mean, it'll probably work for other like 7-inch figures, that kind of thing, but actually I think it'd probably work quite well. But it is specifically made for this, and this is available. It's on pre-order right now, and I have a bunch of links in the description if you want to pre-order it, and that includes a lot of really reliable websites like Nerdzoic, Hella Dope Toys, all that stuff, and even on their specific Odd Frog Entertainment website as well. So the thing I'm going to be showing off in this video is available, and if you want to pick it up, it's available. It's $185, I think, to pick this thing up, which is honestly reasonable, especially after I show you what this thing does. So full disclosure too, this right here is a prototype. This is not the exact thing that's gonna be spat out with production when that, if you were to pre-order this thing. So it's a little bit different, and I do gotta be a little bit careful with it because it is the same, like when I'm done with this, I gotta ship this back out to them so then they can use it on their, convention floors to promote this thing. But yes, the wheels do work and it does move. There you go. The doors open, obviously, beautiful. And the trunk opens. And the hood opens, and you can even pop this part off if you want to show off the goods in there, like that. You got options for that kind of thing. There's a lot going on, and whether or not you want it to be practical, that's one story. It's really designed to, accompany an action figure. If you want to be something to look good next to it, you know what I mean? That's honestly what us collectors are looking for. Just give me something awesome to put on the shelf that I can take some toy photos with, to go along with my, I don't know, my Ghost Rider or my Deadpool or whatever. Doesn't matter. This thing looks incredible. And this beautiful matte finish black, just with all the lighting, it looks so incredibly good, does it not? So before I get into all of this, if you do want to pick it up, if you want to pre-order, head to any of the links I've got in the description. I'll have the official website for Odd Frog Entertainment with all of this Bandito info there if you want to read more up on all the details about the production, learn more about the people making it. It's all right there. And there's also a whole bunch of other videos too from other people besides just me if you want to get some, I don't know, second opinions or something like that. But it's all there. It's all linked in the description. Before you pick one of these things up and spend $185, do a little more research and watch this video, of course. But anyway, let's actually get into this thing. Let's first start out with the hood. Let's pop the hood. So as I said, you can take this thing off. That might actually help with a little bit of lighting here. This also pops right off. And that's magnetized, by the way, which is very nice. And there is a battery thing right here. Batteries? What's in here? Well, there's a couple AAAs right there. And this is a button. This little piece right here is a button. And yeah, the headlights turn on. Can you imagine a car like this without the headlights turning on? That would kind of be a little lame, huh? So pushing this button does the trick. And yeah, you can't really see it right now because of the horrific, crazy lighting I've got going on. But here, give me a sec. Now with some more reasonable lighting. And it lights up quite nicely too. It's not like a tiny little bit of, pathetic light. It works pretty well. And, if you're gonna be looking at this more in person versus on camera, it looks really good, really nice and noticeable. This thing kind of looks like the Batmobile too, if I'm being honest, from the Batman. I didn't even think about that. So heck yeah, even the prototype goes well. Next, let's check out the doors and what's going on with that. So doors, of course, pop open. You've got a beautiful steering wheel and a dash, everything going on in there. There's like a lot of detail in the dash. If you look real closely in there, there's a lot of detail in there. And even, there's like a speedometer and all that stuff. And so the seats, I think the seats actually move back. Yeah, you can move the seats back and forth, which is gonna be kind of essential, especially if you're, you got figures that are taller than others. And they come out too. There we go. There's a magnet in there that can get it on track. There it goes. And doors close nicely. get a little bit flush. I'm assuming it's even more flush with the actual finished product. Like I said, this is the prototype, but I mean, it looks beautiful. You even got little mirrors going on there too. Like, come on. So let's stick somebody in there. This is a thing for action figures, is it not? This is a Marvel Legends Deadpool. So this is slightly bigger than, you know, maybe like a Figure Arts. And come on, tuck him on in there. And he's good. Even those swords on his back work quite nicely. I can slide the chair up a little bit while he's in there. Takes a little bit of finagling, but there he goes. I'm surprised how easy that was to kind of fit him in there. And he looks good. Like, it actually looks kind of natural for him. I'm actually kind of surprised with that. So if I want to try something a little bit smaller, this is a Figure Arts Deadpool. Why am I using Deadpool? I don't know. He kind of works with everything. Even with the swords on the back, have him look this way, pop the door off, have the elbow hanging out there like that. Oh, let me scooch the chair up again. That was helpful last time. And there he goes. That fits nicely too. There he goes. Wow. I can't believe how easy that is. That's way too easy. Hands even on the steering wheel. Come on. Let's see what kind of junk we got in the trunk over here. Trunk opens wide up. There's a lot of room in here for stuff. It's incredible how much of like a real trunk it looks like. There's even like a velvet kind of thing in here, or not velvet, but I don't know, felt. And it looks like the inside of a trunk. Like you could probably curl somebody up like a dead body and stick them on in there. Well, so easily you can. There's that. Deadpool's in there. So yeah. And there's still plenty of room in there. That's so cool. Wow. So yeah, trunk is looking good, but there's one more thing. Remember that little button in the front of the car? Yeah, it doesn't just do the headlights. It does the tail lights too. And those almost look even brighter than the headlights. Amazing. And this was kind of a surprise to me. I didn't realize this till just now. It's like, what? Tail lights too? So cool. So yeah, we've already kind of been able to compare this guy to a few characters. It fits with an SH Figure Arts quite nicely, I think. And of course, we tried Marvel Legends already, and still fits quite well. This is a Mafex. This is the Billy Butcher figure, which is kind of, this figure actually fits kind of perfectly. Looking real nice, very, very nice. This is a Mezco Wolverine. And so if you look at the website, a lot of people are using Mezco with this guy, like the Red Skulls and all the Rumble Society stuff. That seems to be really fitting nicely, but I mean, it's obviously clearly great with a lot of things, but yeah, Mezco is definitely a great one. It does say specifically for 6 to 6.5 inch figures. So these are like 7-inch figures, but it still kind of works. This is the McFarlane. Here's a NECA. It still kind of works. So if you were a big NECA collector and you wanted to do this, I don't think there'd be a problem at all. I think this would still look really good. So I'm gonna do this just because it's for the sake of the video, because we gotta still do the W or L segment. And I think this is clearly a W. I think this thing is so cool. There is so much to offer here. It's $185, yeah, but I think you can pretty clearly tell where all that money's going. The sheer size of it, the sheer amount of options you have to do things with it, for photo opportunities, that kind of thing, it lights up. It's clearly very well made. There's really so many things you could do with this thing, as far as just posing your action figures, photography, just shelf life stuff. It's really cool, plus it's beautiful as hell. So I think it's a clear W, and there's a lot of things that a collector would really be attracted to here. It's really freaking awesome. Usually I'm someone that's gonna wanna do some cool narrative kind of photography with my action figures, stuff like that, but I'm really not feeling that. I just wanna go somewhere and take a really beautiful photo, just like in a garage or something that just will make this thing feel big. I don't know, and just some glorious glamour shots of this thing somewhere. That's what I'm kind of feeling. So I'm gonna go take a shot somewhere. All right, check it out. Here I am. I come here a lot actually to do some like kaiju related photos, and I go down there a lot for also some kaiju, some dino stuff. But I thought right here would be kind of cool because it looks a little urban. You know, you got some graffiti on the ground, you got that back there, and then even a little bit of blue sky. And I decided to go with something funny here because I had this idea with Deadpool, and I made this little tripod right here with a Deadpool phone. This phone is actually from the amazing Yamaguchi one. I made this tripod out of super glue and some of the same wooden skewers I use for all kinds of stuff. It's pretty crappily made, to be honest, but it's doing the job. What's happening right now is Deadpool is just taking some selfies on the car, you know, trying to look all cute. And this is how it's looking in camera. I think it's looking a little funny. Background looks cool, the car looks cool. It all looks pretty cool, and I'm kind of happy with it. You know, there's enough cool graffiti that's being captured on the ground, and there's still a little bit of the blue sky being captured, and you can still see the tripod there, which is still putting the whole thing together. It's very bright outside, so these loom cubes aren't doing a whole lot because it's just nothing compared to the crazy, just bright sky. But I'm shining one on here to get a little bit more light on the front here. I was gonna have the headlights on, but it's just so bright you can't even see them right now. So I'm gonna add a little bit more in Photoshop. And then I just have one there too, just to brighten things up around Deadpool. But I'll hold this up. It's in the shade, so I can't get any direct sunlight, but still if I'm bouncing it off, I get a little bit more light from doing that. My aperture is at 5.0. If you wanna have something that's long in, you know, somewhat a decent amount of focus, like a car, you gotta have a pretty higher aperture. So 5 is still somewhat high for me. So I should be able to get at least the front of the car and Deadpool, for the most part, pretty in focus, and that's all I'm really worried about. But yeah, towards the back of the car, it's just not gonna be in focus. If I were to do it a little bit more at a wide angle, where the car was more this way, I could get it all in focus. But with this, it's just not gonna work, and that's fine. It's gonna work out just fine. And I've moved the tripod over here, so then it can be more in the focus line with Deadpool, and that's gonna be great. And so my shutter speed's at 1,000 just because it's so bright out. And I do wanna have that sky be blue, so the more I lessen my shutter speed and brighten things up, the sky just becomes white. And I wanna have a little more than that. And my ISO's at 400. So I'm just gonna take a few shots and see if I can get something cool. And I'll see you in the post-photo breakdown. All right, quick post-photo breakdown for Deadpool on the thing, the car. Check him out. This will probably be a much quicker post-photo breakdown just because it was such a simple edit, but I think this is actually pretty fun, and I'm surprised with how much I'm enjoying this photo. Because it does just look like a cool showcase of the car, even though I totally changed my mind and I didn't just do glamour shots of the car. I did something fun. But it's a cool showcase of the car, and it's kind of funny. The little tripod, I'm happy with that idea. This is the before and this is the after. So it does look like a big difference, but they're very easy edits. So one is I cropped it, so I had a little bit more sky and less ground. And then I also just, you know, really messed with the colors and the brightness like I usually would. But I just added some lens flares all around, especially towards the headlights. I used the same method I used to create the lightsaber effects to create the headlights. I put a couple more lens flares in there as well. And then I also added some on the phone, which actually helped a lot because it looks like the phone's kind of going off. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. Give me some critiques as always, and let's just run the end of the video. So this thing is just incredibly freaking cool, and I really can't help but think that it really is a fantastic value for how much money it is. There's so much you could do with this thing. But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo will be posted up onto Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of that stuff. And if you want to follow my work on any of those platforms, it's all linked in the video description below. And make sure to head to the link in the description to check out one of these guys and pick one up for yourself. So, of course, thank you for watching and getting this far into the video. And I hope to see you in the next one.